Hey guys, for JuV Day 3, I'm going to do a little review of this most recent season of Doctor Who because it finished on Saturday and I just kind of have thoughts and yeah, just kind of want to get them out there. This season of Doctor Who has felt a lot stronger than the previous one. Just saying that straight off the bat. Like, there's been the occasional weaker episode, but like, each of them have been a lot stronger than the previous season. Like, and I think that that's partly down to the new companion, Belinda. She felt, up until the very end, a lot stronger of a character than Ruby. Ruby wasn't a bad character necessarily, but she just wasn't a particularly strong one. She didn't feel particularly unique from previous companions. She felt like her whole thing was just that she was a foundling, and yeah, she wasn't like particularly special feeling in terms of like as a person, if that makes sense. She it was like, you know, she had a lot of interesting stuff. Belinda felt more like some of the companions that we've had before in a lot of ways. She definitely felt a bit more like a combination of Donna and Martha from Russell's first time around. And I think that that worked pretty well. Like, you know, she was a medical professional like Martha. She had a lot of stuff going on. She talked about race more openly, and she also did do some stuff with, like, you know, calling the Doctor out on his bullshit a bit, which was definitely, like, a Donna thing to do. She was very much like a combo of those two, and I think that's already endearing enough to me, whereas it felt a bit like Ruby was trying to be Rose 2.0 and didn't quite meet that mark. Rose felt a lot more like a real character than Ruby ever did in some ways, if that makes sense. I don't know, maybe there's opinions. And then the Ncuti was just really hitting his stride this season. Like, he is a very good Doctor. He was doing a very good job of being the Doctor, and I'm just kind of sad that he went so early on. He definitely, some of the writing has not been as good in some places, I will say that, but he, in and of himself, was getting to be really good at being the Doctor. There was all sorts of really interesting stuff, and I feel like there was just a little bit of wasted potential. I feel like they could have done so much more with him as a character and him as an actor, and, you know, there was a couple of Dr. Light episodes in his tenure that didn't, you know, he was barely in some of them, so it didn't feel, he was still the new Doctor, as opposed to, you know, some of them got pretty into it a year or so in. He was, he had so fewer episodes and everything. I'm just a bit sad that he went at the end. Ah, dear. Well, we'll see what Billy Piper has to do with it all. It'll be interesting to see what goes on there. There were some really interesting series-long arcs that worked pretty well, I would say. There was a bunch of stuff with Mrs. Flood that, you know, she turned out to be the Rani. That's fine. I'm a little annoyed that the new Rani got killed like that, and we've been left with Mrs. Flood Rani. Now, nothing against Anita Dobson, but I felt like the new Rani had more potential, and so if they were going to kill off one of the Ranis, why was it her? You know, it's all a thing, and I did very much enjoy most of the episodes of this season. There was a lot of really good stuff in them, like, you know, Return of the Midnight Creature. That was really unexpected. There was all of the various other stuff that I really enjoyed the little cameos from past Doctors in ways that we hadn't necessarily done before. Fugitive Doctor having that one sort of bit where it sort of cut around and she got shown. That's interesting. I wasn't sure whether that was ever going to be touched on again, so that's cool. And I loved getting to have Jodie back in, and for that one last scene, again, I wish she just had better writing. She was a really good Doctor, but there was some writing issues that made her seem less confident, less competent in ways, and I feel like she really had a lot of room to grow into the role. So I feel like both her and Ncuti could have had a lot more time, and you know, hopefully Big Finish will get them snapped up soon and do some stuff. Not that I really listen to Big Finish, but I think that I want them to have more stories out there, because I think both of them have a lot that they could do. I did see early on in the season that there was a lot of parallels to be made with this one and the previous one in terms of some of the ones from this one are just better versions of the one from the previous, or have the same sort of patterns. So like, you know, involving the different gods and doing things like that. And I don't know, some of it works. Some of it was definitely improvements. Others definitely not. It's all very interesting. I'm very intrigued to see what happens next. And yeah, we will see when we get the I don't know, is it a Christmas special that's next? No, War Between the Land and the Sea, and then we'll see what happens after that. I do have to say, I think that I've seen some commentary online about the fact that Russell hasn't necessarily done his best writing recently, and part of it might be, you know, the fact that he's got less limitation because he's already done it before, and so they're like, oh, you just get on with it. But I think that the budget might be also a thing. He's less pressured budget-wise, and limitation almost always breeds creativity, so I think that definitely could have affected some of the writing stuff. But I have enjoyed all of this new era quite a lot. There's definitely been some stinkers still, but it's more consistent level. I've been talking about this with my friend Lachlan for ages, that Russell's era of Doctor Who was very consistently at a reasonably high level, whereas Moffat's one was, when he was in charge, he was very swingy. He would do fucking brilliant stuff, sometimes better than stuff in Russell's era, but he would also put out absolute stinkers that I detested. And, you know, he was not consistent. He was swinging here, there, and everywhere. And then Chibnall was consistently at a lower level of it being like, it wasn't as good throughout that time, and it was more the writing than anything else. So I'm hoping that we can continue at this sort of thing. And you know, there's all of the folk that are just daft about it. Oh, Doctor can't be a woman, Doctor can't be black. Fuck off. This is a show for everybody, apart from you who are trying to make it for one set of people. It can be for anyone, apart from you. So, but that's my thoughts on the most recent series of Doctor Who. I'm intrigued to see where we go next. Let me know your thoughts on the series in the comments down below. I'd love to know, so tell me down there. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you remember to like and share it and subscribe to my channel. Click on the thumbnails over there to see other videos by me, click on the link in the description down below to join my Discord, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next day of JuV. Bye!